Hi guys, it's Evan here from Helixxvr, and it's Saturday morning, so that can only mean one thing. Wow, just wow, it's the new release show, and this week we've got some huge releases, 2 AAA games, that's AAA, and plus other great titles as well coming out. So first off, we're choosing Vinyl Reality. Have you ever wanted to be a DJ in real life or in VR? Mix up some Beyonce with Frank Sinatra? You could be the next Calvin Harris with this game. The devs claim it is the first app in virtual reality that accurately recreates traditional DJ setup. Well, I've never been a traditional DJ, but I like the sound of being able to mix my own music without spending thousands of pounds on the equipment. So if mixing's your thing, then give this a go. You could end up as a resident DJ in the Heaven nightclub, which is linked to the Helix room in VR chat. Who knows? It's available on Vive this week. Go out and buy it. Okay, next up is Payday 2 for the Vive. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be sitting there puzzled and going, why is this not Game of the Week? Well, and I'll tell you the reason why. It's not even an early access game. This is just a beta test. So really, we couldn't give it Game of the Week because it is only a test stage at the moment. Saying that, the game is great. Being able to work with other players to shoot the police, pull off heists in VR is just amazing. How big this game will get, who knows? But with the player base that it's currently got, we're predicting it's going to be huge. This is going to keep us going for a couple of weeks, well, at least until Fallout 4 is released. Do I hear a ding dong? Let's go and see who our guests of the week are this week. Well, there we go, guys, and that was a great first part of the show. Now, we've got a special guest today, and he's actually just released a game this week. So, welcome to the show, David from Avalon Studios, with their game that's been released this week is Elemental Combat. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Seven. Thanks for having me here. It's great to be here.
You're welcome, and we love devs that are just releasing games. So, for everybody that doesn't know, because obviously it has just been released, what's the game about?
Yeah, in Elemental Combat, we wanted to capture this feeling of you being as powerful as your childhood heroes. As kids, we stood next to our TVs, and we always tried to move things with our minds, and we tried to shout the attacks that we were casting at our friends. But of course, it never worked. And then with virtual reality, when this came along, we decided, hey, let's put this feeling with our kids into reality to actually make this real. And with this, Elemental Combat was born. Basically, it's about you can manipulate the 4 elements with your movements in VR. So when you raise your arms up, you have powerful rocks emerging from the ground. When you punch forward, you have fire coming from your fists. And it's all about this fight. It's a PvP fight. We have a single player, multiplayer mode. And yeah, it's all about who has the best techniques, the best tactics, and fighting with 4 elements.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to get a very, very early sneak peek of the game, which I really do appreciate you guys letting me get my hands on it. And we streamed that and we got a lot of positive feedback from it. For me, it feels like a cross between the Airbender and Avatar. It's just like a magical experience in there to be, as you say, to be able to be your childhood Airbender cartoons that you've seen on TV, to be able to use the power of the wind and the fire, earth and water. It is fantastic, and it's also very, very hard in multiplayer, because if you get a good player up against you, it's a combination of changing those powers to defeat your enemy, which is very good.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we're going for. Actually, our design thinking was we want to make it easy to learn but hard to master. So in the beginning, it's kind of easy. You shoot the first fireballs around. It's kind of easy, it's easy to learn. But later, if you want to really master the game, then you really need to know, okay, fire is strong against wind, but weak against water. So you have to think before what kind of elements you should choose against your opponents. So this was a huge element. So then it will go in the very, in the mind games and the strategic depth of the game, where it gets really intense.
Yeah. Now, the development team, obviously, that you're part of, I believe you gave up your jobs, your real life jobs, to actually focus on making a VR game. Is this true?
Yeah, that's very true. Way more than a year ago, me and my then former colleague, we checked out VR for the first time in a little office in Hamburg. And when we put off the VR goggles, we were so mind blown that we said, wow, we need to do something with VR. This will change the world. And then we moved to Berlin. We started out in the living room of my co-founder Marcella, and we started to like develop certain ideas and thought, okay, what could be cool with VR? And what would be like unique for VR? What you couldn't do with a normal PC platform? Because this is what we saw from a lot of other games. They were just making VR games based on normal games and just put a VR view on this. And we thought this is kind of lazy. This is not what VR is actually made for. So then we thought, okay, why haven't you used the movements, which is like so unique in VR, and make this into like some kind of game element? And then we think, hey, why not make people as powerful as the childhood heroes, which was always our childhood dream. And now we thought, okay, this is possible now. And this is the reason we started this, and we went to growing, yeah.
Well, that's really, it's very, very brave of you to do that. And but it's also for guys out there that are looking at going into developing VR and that, it shows that if you work hard and you do pursue your dreams, they do come true. I mean, you've just released an awesome game. So a year ago, or just over a year ago, when you were giving up your jobs and saying, let's do this, like, who would have thought you would have been here today on Helix talking about a game that you've just released, which everyone's going to go out and buy, obviously, because it's a really good game. And as I say, that's a year later, you've done that. So well done to you. And anyone that's out there looking at going into games developing, it shows that it can be done. I mean, do you have any advice for people that are thinking, oh, maybe this is a career for me or a job that I could do?
Well, that's a big question there, Seven. That's a big question. And I usually go around and have presentation on conferences about this. What a lot of game developers or people who want to go into gaming game development should look out for. One of the things is that you should always think about who will play your game. Like think about the players, not about yourself, because yourself have this very, very distorted view, your own perception. But you have to ask yourself, is this something other people will play? So try to not to like spend 4 years in a game you don't know if anyone will play it. Start slow, start with tiny prototypes, test it with the market. This is what we did very early on with our game. We didn't know if anyone actually do people even care about mastering the elements in VR? Is this something that people actually want to do? So what we did, we created a quick prototype of 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and this even includes learning the Unreal Engine with this. And we just sent some GIFs and videos on the internet. And all of a sudden, this exploded in our face. Like people upvoting this, we got more than 3 million impressions and 3,000 comments on this. How awesome this is! And then we thought, okay, wow, we're actually onto something here. And this was our idea validation. So this was the point where we said, okay, guys, in this project we want to go like 100% and want to pursue this. This is what we're going to do full time for more over the year now. And now we're confident that we can do this and that it will have some results. So what my recommendation is for aspiring game developers is do something and test if this will be have a market value if you want to make games with it. So test it with small prototypes and get some feedback from the market, not from your friends. Your friends will obviously always say, "Oh, it's awesome what you do there. It's a great game, great concept." But the real feedback you get from in the wild from people outside. So this would be my biggest recommendation: do small intervals, small iterations, and then at one point you are here at this point where I'm right now.
I totally agree with you. I mean, we work with a lot of developers that give us the game and say, look, can you play it for us? And I always say to them, look, the best thing for us to do is to do a stream for you, because it's no good us reporting the bugs back, because you're going to know about the bugs, but you want to see someone play it, and they're going to play it totally different to how you expect it to be played. And 9 times out of 10, the devs, after watching us play the games, go, that's not exactly how we imagined it being played, but yet we can see that we need to make improvements on stuff because you play it totally different to how it should be played. But everyone plays things differently. So yeah, it's a really, really good bit of advice there. And obviously, guys, if you're out there and you are devs, just ask the Helix team. We will gladly test any game for you. So no problem at all. Okay, so one final question. Obviously, it's just been released, and I'm sure you're going to have a few little things that you need to sort out over the next few days that are going to crop up. But what other things have you got based going on for Elemental Combat? So you're going to continue to grow the game, or are you looking at making a second title in VR?
For us, our main focus is actually, our vision for Elemental Combat is to have a game that's actually played competitively all around the globe. So, I'm a very competitive player. The whole team is are a lot of competitive players in there, and we want to make Elemental Combat to become a VR esports title, so that people all around the world can fight with fireballs and water balls and see who is the best Elemental Master around the world. So, because for us, this means this new emergence of a new sport of actually you move your arms and in VR, but you also move your body. So it's this new type of sports, like B-sports, and this is our vision for the game. So we will work hard on improving the balancing that is on a competitive basis. We were going to work hard on setting creating ranked systems and tournament systems and this kind of things, and grow the competitive community for Elemental Combat. So at one point maybe you can watch it on the sidelines and like your favorite video game nowadays, similar to League of Legends or Dota.
Hey, I got a 2-month head start against everyone else, so I'm going to challenge you guys to come and beat me, yeah? Because I've got 2 months ahead of everyone. I'm going to be up there, number 1 on that leaderboard. When you see me out there, you'll say, yeah, Seven's an expert. Okay, right, I've got to go back and finish off the new release show. So if you just wait there a second, and guys, we'll carry on with part 2.
Have fun, guys.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. Well, we've just spoke to the devs, so you already know what this game is about. Elemental Combat. For us, it's just like living our childhood dream of being the airbender with the power to control the elements. This game does not let you down. The AI is good to play against and practice. Your skills, get ready, and then jump into multiplayer with your friend and batter them to hell with fire, wind, water, and earth. We absolutely love it. It's a very unique game. Takes a lot of practice to be able to beat each other. So would you not agree with me, Kermie? You enjoyed it. There we go. You can't hear him, but I can hear him in my ear. Good. Anyway, it's out now on the Vive and the Rift. The devs were great, so we're giving it a thumbs up and suggest you go out and buy it this week. And finally, the one you've been waiting for, it's Game of the Week. Let's have a big fanfare for this one. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we got 2 AAA games. Well, we've already given you one. So it can only mean that Game of the Week is Skyrim VR for the PSVR. If you have never heard of Skyrim, then stop. Slap your face a few times and realise that you're dreaming. It's one of the biggest PC and console games, and it's now available on VR. This open world game will have you battling spiders, dragons, lots more. Yeah. The feedback from the community, it was only released yesterday, has been so positive, and we really look forward to when this actually makes its way over to the PC VR, which will be some point next year, fingers crossed. So anyway, it's well deserving of the Game of the Week, and it's nice to see a PSVR game get in there, because we do sometimes overlook them for obviously Vive and Rift. But well done, guys, you deserve it this week. It's an excellent game. If you own a PSVR, then buy this game. If you don't, stick it on your Christmas list and hopefully someone will buy it for you. Anyway, Kermie's going to be playing it all weekend and streaming, so if you do want to see what this game is about, because you've been living under a stone, then tune in and watch Kermie Twitch it on our Twitch channel or stream it on our Facebook channel. So you've got 2 ways of watching it. Okay, let's go back to the devs and say goodbye. Don't forget, we have got an AMF giveaway, so it's a double giveaway for you and your friends, so log on to that. That's at the end of this video, so just tune in, pick a 3-digit number, and hopefully you'll win a copy of AMF. Anyway, let's go and say goodbye to the devs, and we'll see you next week. Well, guys, there we go, and another cracking game of the week. So, guys, go out and buy it, and don't let anyone know what it is. Okay, so, David, really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best luck with the game, and hopefully lots of people are going to go out and play. Guys, come and try and knock me off the leaderboard if you can. And hopefully, when you've got other games coming out, or you just want to pop on the show again, come and say hi to us.
Thanks, Evan. I will definitely do that. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the very pleasant talk. And yeah, download the game, Elemental Combat, and shoot some fireballs.
Excellent, good. Now, David's being a bit modest here. He's actually donated a few keys to us as well. So, guys, you know what's going to happen next week. Tune into the show, and we will have a giveaway for this game. So, you remember, if you love what we do, don't forget, subscribe to us on YouTube, tweet us on Twitter, itch us on Twitch, and F us on FBook. Until next week, goodbye.
Bye-bye.